Hello and a really warm welcome, David Marshall from the Conscious Creation Academy, and here we're looking at, on this podcast, we pulled out Seth Speaks, and I'm trusting that this is the right message for you today. So it's actually chapter 16, page 225. I don't actually know the session number, but let's not get too caught up on that. So it's actually the introduction to probable systems, men and gods, and it really is beginning to introduce some ideas of probable realities and probabilities. So let's get stuck into this one today. So in your daily life, at any moment of your time, you have a multitudinous let's start again. In your daily life, at any given moment of your time, you have a multitudinous choice of actions, some trivial and some of utmost importance. You may, for example, sneeze or not sneeze, cough or not cough, walk to the window or the door, scratch your elbow, save a child from drowning, learn a lesson, commit suicide, harm another, or turn your cheek. It seems to you that reality is composed of those actions that you choose to take. Those that you choose to deny are ignored. The road not taken then seems to be a non-act. Yet every thought is actualized and every possibility explored. Physical reality is constructed from what seems to be a series of physical acts. Since this is the usual criterion of reality for you, then non-physical acts usually escape your notice, discretion, and judgment. So let's take an example. If you are reading this book and the telephone rings, a friend wants you to meet him at 5 o'clock, and you stand considering. In your mind you see yourself A, saying no and staying home, B, saying no and going somewhere else instead, or C, saying yes and keeping the engagement. Now, all of these possible actions have a reality at that point. They are all capable of being actualized in physical terms. Before you make your decision, each of these probable actions are equally valid. You choose one of these, and by your decision you make one event out of three physical. This event is duly accepted as a portion of those serial happenings and compose your normal existence. Other probable actions, however, are as valid as they ever were, though you haven't chosen to actualize them physically. They are carried out as effectively as the one you chose to accept. If there was a strong emotional charge behind one of the rejected probable actions, it may have had greater validity as an act than the one that you chose. All actions are initially mental actions, and this is the nature of reality. That sentence cannot be emphasized too thoroughly. All mental acts, therefore, are valid. They exist and cannot be negated. Because you do not accept them as physical events, you do not perceive their strength or durability. Your lack of perception cannot destroy their validity, however. If you wanted to be a doctor and are now in a different profession, then in some other probable reality you are a doctor. If you have abilities that you are not using here, they are being used elsewhere. Now again, these ideas may seem impossibly rich for your mental blood, because of your propensity towards serial thought and three-dimensional attitudes. Now these facts do not deny the validity of the soul, but instead add to it immeasurably. The soul can be described, for that matter, as a multidimensional, infinite act, each minute probability being brought somewhere into actuality and existence, an infinite creative act that creates for itself infinite dimensions in which fulfillment is possible. The tapestry of your own existence is simply such that the three-dimensional intellect cannot behold it. These probable selves, however, are a portion of your identity or soul, and if you are out of contact with them, it's only because you focus on physical events and accept them as their criteria for reality. End of quote. So I find that immensely interesting, and as we get more into the magical approach and looking at those types of things and giving you some really good quotes on there, understanding probabilities really is the key to understanding the nature of the multi-dimensional self, and that really is an exciting journey because it gets into other lives, other probabilities, other skills, other experiences that are open to us as long as we can open initially our minds to the idea. So that's it for today. I hope that's of interest to you. It delights me just to read them. So that's me, David Marshall, signing off. Sign up for our newsletter if you can, and I'll see you on the next podcast. Have a great day.